Friends, so today we are discussing the third module, Introduction of Radio, History of Radio in India, Components of Radio Programs, Type of Radio Programs, Radio in Kerala. Radio, as we know, is often known as a blind medium. It is the most popular medium which can be used in every nook and corner of the world. Radio has its roots in the telegraph. This device was the first widely used form of long-distance communication. In 1836, Samuel Morse invented a language of dots and dashes that is still used today. It is widely used mass communication medium and has a great potentiality in dissemination of information as radio signals cover almost entire population. More than 177 radio stations are there across the country. 97% of the population is reached by the radio. Radio, being a convenient form of entertainment, caters to a large audience. With the advent of transistors, this medium hours reach the common man in urban and rural areas of India, though the utilization of radio is more among rural elites. സിറ്റിയിലുള്ള ആൾക്കാരെക്കാൾ ഏറ്റവും കൂടുതൽ റേഡിയോയ്ക്ക് ഒരു പ്രചാരം കിട്ടിയത് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് ഈ റൂറൽ ഏരിയാസിലാണ്. Another important feature of radio as a mass medium is that it caters to a large rural population which has no access to TV and where there is no power supply. In such places, All India Radio's programs continue to be the only source of information and entertainment. Moreover, air broadcast programs in 24 languages and 140 dialects. It can serve as a standalone medium of information dissemination or a support medium for curricular learning jointly with print material or with field work. It has advantages over the other mass media like television and newspapers in terms of being handy, portable, easily accessible and cheap. വളരെ ചീപ്പ് റേറ്റിന് എവിടെ വേണമെങ്കിലും വളരെ ഈസിയായി കൊണ്ടുപോകാൻ കഴിയുന്നു എന്നത് റേഡിയോയുടെ ഏറ്റവും വലിയ അഡ്വാൻറ്റേജാണ് കമ്പയർഡ് ടു ഓൾ അതർ മീഡിയ. It is the most portable of the broadcast media, being accessible at home, in the office, in the car, on the street or beach, virtually everywhere at any time. Radio is effective not only in informing the people but also in creating awareness regarding many social issues and need for social reformation, developing interest and initiating action. For example, in creating awareness regarding new policies, developmental projects and programs, new ideas, etc., radio is used as a medium to communicate to the audience. History of radio. In 1876, Alexander Graham Bell transmitted the human voice over wires for the first time. Soon his invention moved from the lab to the home and life hasn't been the same since. Most of these telephones were wired on party lines, which means that many of your neighbors could listen to your calls. All the phones on the party line rang at one time and each home had its own ring pattern. And in 1887, Heinrich Hertz demonstrated that electromagnetic waves could be transmitted through the air. As a result, the term Hertz is now used to specify cycles per second for the frequency of both sound and radio waves. In 1883, a dentist named Malon Loomis received the patent for wireless telegraphy, but Guglielmo Marconi is commonly credited as inventing radio in 1895, even though there is credible evidence that other inventors were first. Radio ഒരു form, it was introduced by many scientists earlier, but Marconi is often referred as the inventor of radio. Nikola Tesla demonstrated wireless transmission during lecture on the potential of high frequency transmitting in 1891. In 1893, after continued research, Tesla presented a paper on the basics of radio or wireless telegraph. Once Marconi patented his invention in England, his next step was to sell it to the marine industry. Soon, the majority of ocean-going ships were all equipped with his equipment, which made Marconi a very rich man. Ship radio operators who had never heard anything but Morse code received the first radio broadcast from Boston in 1906. It must have seemed like the twilight zone at sea when the ships heard Christmas carols coming from the radios. In the early days of radio, there was no way to record sound. Everything was performed live. Although the first sound recording device can be traced back to 1855, it was some time before the concept was applied to radio. In 1898, Danish inventor Valdemar Poulsen created the telegraphone, the first practical magnetic sound recorder using a piano wire as the recording medium. Soon, wire recorders began to appear on the American market. Now we are moving to the most important part, history of radio in India. The first broadcast in India was in 1921 from Bombay. It was arranged by the Times of India in collaboration with the Post and Telegraph Department. In 1924, Madras Presidency Club was started. The first radio station with regular broadcasting was started on 24 July 1927 by the Indian Broadcasting Company at Bombay. In the same year, the company established a new station in Calcutta, but in 1930, the Government of India dissolved the company and acquired the right of radio broadcasting. Even today, the broadcasting is almost monopoly of the central government. And എല്ലാത്തിൻ്റെയും ഈ പറയുന്ന റേഡിയോയുടെ മൊത്തം കൺട്രോളും ഉള്ളത് സെൻട്രൽ ഗവൺമെൻറ് കയ്യിലാണ്. ആൻഡ് ഇറ്റ് ഈസ് നോട്ട് ഇൻ ദ ഹാൻഡ്സ് ഓഫ് ദ സ്റ്റേറ്റ് ഗവൺമെൻറ്. These are the major years and events. 1923, Radio Club of Bombay. 1926, Indian Broadcasting Company, a private company given permission to set up 2 stations. July 23, 1927, Bombay Station. August 26, 1927, Calcutta Station. March 1930, IBC discharged. April 1930, government took over and formed Indian State Broadcasting Service. 2 years later, government started to broadcast the British Broadcasting Corporation in India. 1932, to supplement the earning of the Indian State Broadcasting Service, the Indian Tariff Act was amended, leading to sharp increase in the duty on the wireless receiving set. The possession of a radio set without a license was made an offence. റേഡിയോ സെറ്റിൻ്റെ ഒരു ഉപയോഗം അല്ലെങ്കിൽ അത് ഉണ്ടാക്കുന്നതിന് ലൈസൻസ് ഇല്ലാതെ അത് ഉണ്ടാക്കുന്നത് ഭയങ്കര കുറ്റമായിട്ട് മാറി. In March 1935, Office of Controller of Broadcasting created under the Department of Industries and Labour of the government. January 1936, Delhi radio station was opened. June 1936, the ISBS was renamed All India Radio Air. 1937, air was transferred from the Ministry of Labour and Industries to the Department of Communication. September 1939, news bulletins were centralized in all languages at Delhi. By 1939, in addition to the existing medium wave transmitters, shortwave transmitters had also been installed at Delhi, Bombay, Calcutta and Madras. New stations with medium wave transmitters were opened at Lucknow and Tiruchirappalli. In 1941, air was again transferred to the Department of Information and Broadcasting, which after independence in 1947 became a separate ministry by itself. When Japan joined Second World War in 1941, thus began Air's Burmese, Chinese, Japanese, Thai, Malay and the Indo-Chinese language broadcast. So today air broadcast in 16 foreign languages. The important program of All India Radio. First one is News Bulletin. The news service division started functioning in 1936. The first news bulletin was broadcasted from Bombay on 23rd July 1927. The AIR had set up the Central News Organization in August 1937 and provided news bulletin in English in 7 Indian languages. Local stations relayed bulletins suitable for its listening areas. ഓരോ ഏരിയ അനുസരിച്ചാണ് എവിടെയൊക്കെയാണ് ബുള്ളറ്റിൻ വേണ്ടതെന്ന് തീരുമാനിക്കുന്നത്. അറ്റ് പ്രിസെറ്റ് ന്യൂസ് ബ്രോഡ്കാസ്റ്റ് ആർ ഇൻ 17 റീജിയണൽ ലാംഗ്വേജസ് ബിസൈഡ്സ് ഹിന്ദി ആൻഡ് ഇംഗ്ലീഷ്. Second one is the Vivid Bharati. It is a commercial brand of air introduced in 1957. Its main program is popular music. Air gives top priority to music and related programs. All stations devote 40% of their total broadcasting time to music related with classical, tribal music, devotional, light music and film based. It also tunes to integrate two major Indian music, Hindustani and Carnatic. Third one is rural programs. All air stations broadcast rural programs for about 30 to 75 minutes every day. Besides farm and home programs, the station broadcasts daily programs on agricultural also. കാർഷിക രംഗത്ത് ഓരോ ദിവസത്തെയും വാർത്തകൾ കൃത്യമായി ഈ റൂറൽ പ്രോഗ്രാംസിലൂടെ എക്സിബിറ്റ് ചെയ്തിരുന്നു. They cover subjects like new agricultural technology, cooperation, animal husbandry, poultry, fisheries and cottage industries. Next one is Yuvavani. It is a special program for the youth between the ages of 15 to 30 years. There are discussions, interviews, plays, features and music under this program. In Delhi, a separate channel for Yuvavani program was introduced by the then Prime Minister Srimati Indira Gandhi in 1969. Calcutta, Hyderabad, Srinagar, etc. have low power transmitters for Yuvavani. All the station broadcast about 1 hour youth programs through the main channel. മെയിൻ ചാനലിലൂടെ 1 മണിക്കൂറിന് യൂത്തിന് വേണ്ടിയിട്ടുള്ള പ്രോഗ്രാം ആയിരിക്കും. Next is sports. Sports programs in Radio Command high listening. Its analysis, interviews and running commentaries are very popular. A study in 1978 to 79 revealed that listening its commentary on a cricket match in English was 86% and in Hindi was 72%. But after the advent of television, the rate has been considerably lower. From 1972 to 1980, there was daily sports service. The director of sports and its headquarters of air plans coverage of national, international events. More developments. 1957 Rural Radio Forum was started. In 1964, the Government of India appointed a committee headed by A.K. Chanda to submit the proposal for the improvement for the functioning of air. The committee recommended that air should be constituted as an autonomous corporation like BBC. BBC പോലെ ഒരു സ്വയംഭരണ സ്ഥാപനം എന്ന നിലയിലേക്ക് എയർ മാറ്റണമെന്നാണ് കമ്മിറ്റി ശുപാർശ ചെയ്തത്. In 1990, Lok Sabha passed the Prasar Bharati Bill for the autonomy of electronic media. In 1998, air was brought under the control of Prasar Bharati Corporation. In 1967, Vivid Bharati was commercialized. 1976, air and Doordarshan were separated and Prasar Bharati Act came into existence. Prasar Bharati Act. Prasar Bharati Bill passed by the Parliament in 1990, but subsequent governments didn't finalize it. Act implemented in September 1997, Broadcasting Corporation of India is divided into 2 distinct bodies, Akashvani and Doordarshan. Functioned as a corporate with a board of directors headed by a chairman, Director General for both DD and AIR. member of Ministry of I&B, part of board. Functions of the Prasar Bharati Act. It was subject to the provisions of this Act that it shall be the primary duty of the corporation to organize and conduct public broadcasting services to inform, educate and entertain the public and to ensure a balanced development of broadcasting on radio and television. Free and objective broadcast of all matters of public interest, national or international, and presenting a fair, balanced flow of information including contrasting views without advocating any opinion or ideology of its own. Paying special attention to the fields of education and spread of literacy, agricultural rural development, environment, health and family welfare, as well as science and technology. Providing adequate coverage to the diverse cultures and languages of the various regions of the country by broadcasting appropriate programs. So, through this, what are the steps implemented by the Prasar Bharati Act? That was what we are discussing here. Providing adequate coverage to sports and games so as to encourage healthy competition and the spirit of sportsmanship. Providing appropriate programs keeping in view the special needs of the youth, making specific programs for and about women, tribal children, handicapped, aged and vulnerable sections of society. Promoting social justice and combating exploitation, inequality and such evils as untouchability and advancing the welfare of the weaker sections of the society. Promoting national integration by broadcasting in a manner that it facilitates communication in languages in India and facilitating the distribution of regional broadcasting service in every state in the language of that state. Providing comprehensive broadcast coverage through the choice of appropriate technology and the best utilization of the broadcast frequencies available and ensuring high quality reception. Promoting research and development activities in order to ensure that radio and television broadcast technology are constantly updated. Radio in Kerala. It was on 12th March 1943 the first radio station in Kerala was started at Thiruvananthapuram. The transmitting time was between 2:45 pm and 9:15 pm in every evening. The station was taken by air on 1st April 1950. In the same year, Kozhikode station was started. Thrissur station started functioning in 1954. Relay station at Alapi was started at Kochi in 1984. Kannur in 1989 and Devikulam in 1994. There are Vividh Bharati stations at TVM and Kozhikode. Broadcasting today is regarded as part of the normal procedure of air. Shortwave and long-wave broadcasting have made possible to the broadcast programs across frontiers to different parts of the world. Radio Moscow, Radio Beijing, the BBC, Sri Lankan Broadcasting Corporation and Australian Broadcasting Corporation and several other national broadcasting networks beam and their programs around the clock across frontiers. And next is Chanda Committee. It was headed by A.K. Chanda, former Controller and Auditor General for India. He converted air into a corporation run by a board of directors like BBC, separates radio from TV, commercialized Vividh Bharati so that it earned a revenue.